Back in London, everything changed. Is there any particular reason Liz should be around all the time?
Don't be a bore. Do I ever ask you anything about your secretary? And don't look at me like that. I don't care a damn what you think.
Do you want a divorce, Helen?
How middle class. Even if my father found out, he...
Company, though.
Yes, but I own 90% of the shares. Mr. Brown is practically an employee of mine. I thought you knew that. When my mother died, she left me everything.
I see. He must have been disappointed.
She wanted to ensure my future. As I've ensured yours. By naming you my sole heir, you'll have no problems.
Where are you going?
To Liverpool, and then, I don't know, maybe Scotland.
When are you coming back?
I haven't given it a thought. I'll write you. Maybe you can join me.
I'd like to, but I can't, because of the theater.
So you've made up your mind?
Yes, I definitely need this vacation, John.
Are you sure you're doing the right thing?
Yes, John, quite. I know it's right, and Liz already understands. You needn't worry.
She'll be back. I can't stand him. He seems to like spying on us all the time.
It's over.
Poor John.
I don't understand her. I know she's in love with me. For 2 years, we'd been happily married.
Don't think about it. She's just like her mother. Rich, moody, wicked.
Perhaps it's my fault.
No. You'll just have to get used to it, like I did with her mother.
I'll never get used to it.
Helen, are you ready?
We're coming. Suki. Suki.
Have you already got your things in the car?
Yes, I have.
Want me to book a room for you at some hotel?
No, it's all right, John. Liz did it.
You aren't driving alone, are you?
Yes, why?
I think John would prefer it if somebody went with you.
Well, I think I'm old enough to take care of myself, Father. John, do you mind?
Huh? Of course.
Thank you. Bye.
Driver lost control of the motor car, probably due to reckless speed. The gas tank exploded, setting fire to the car with no chance of it. It can be stated with certainty that it is that of Helen Alexander.
Morning.
Gordon? You know this man?
Yes, it's John Alexander.
Only 3 weeks after his wife died, he's in Saint-Tropez.
So what? Wasn't it an accident?
Yes, I know. But there's something in this case I don't like.
It's good to see you again, Mr. Alexander.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Mr. Brown is waiting for you.
All right.
John, well. Marvelous to see you. I was beginning to think you'd never come back.
Perhaps you don't know me well enough. I would never leave the company.
Men never get to know each other well enough. But I'm glad you're back. I don't feel so lonely.
I can't persuade myself that Helen is no longer, don't you think?
You're right. Listen, you've got to decide if we're to merge with the French company.
I thought you had already decided.
The company belongs to you now. You have to make the decision.
Mind if I tell you I missed you very much, John?
Were you worried about the mail piling on my desk?
Why are you nasty to me, please?
I'm not.
I'm only a secretary to you. Is that it?
What's happened since the...
Why don't you try to forget?
I will try.
By the way, a police inspector asked to see you while you were away. He's out there. He called several times, insisting on seeing you.
What does he want?
I don't know.
Send him in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Inspector Gordon of Scotland Yard.
Yes, I was expecting you.
Inspector Stevens from Liverpool.
How do you do, sir?
Do sit down.
No, thanks. We're only here to inform you that the Liverpool police considers the case closed.
I didn't know there had been an inquest.
There are always inquests in accident cases. It's the law.
Did you have a good trip, Mr. Alexander?
I went to places where my wife and I had been together.
It's not the best way to forget a tragedy, is it?
Get these off at once. May I help you with something? I'm very busy at the moment.
Mr. Alexander, I can see that. Responsibility
There
for
won't
the
be any
company
answer
now
to this
rests
one.
entirely upon you.
And this is for Mr. Brown.
I was sure you'd return today.
Professional intuition?
Oh, no. Nothing as fancy as that, Mr. Alexander. It wasn't difficult even for a modest inspector like myself to foresee your return for today. Quite simply because today is your wife's birthday.
Mr. Alexander, will you return to the same house?
For the moment, I'm staying at the Savoy.
Well, thank you, sir.
Esco dalla tua vita, così come vuoi tu, finita è la partita, non giocherò mai più. Esco dalla tua vita, così come vuoi tu, finita è...
What do you want? What are you looking for? You better talk.
Put it back. Oh.
I like you better this way. Tough, but still alive. You've been sleeping for 12 hours.
Where were you hiding?
Where'd you think I was? At the house, looking for Peter. These things take time, you know. I got there just in time to get you away from them, and I convinced them that you weren't a flatfoot, but just a pervert looking for the film.
I'm looking for a blonde named Christine.
Second floor, number 5. You can't go up. There's already a man up there.
It'll be more interesting.
And I thought maybe...
Ah.
Christine told me that you wanted to buy the film. You have good taste. It isn't something that comes along every day. And it's expensive, that's for sure. It's damned expensive.
You want to count it?
Among gentlemen?
Where did you find the woman wearing the veil?
You see, sir, as you can well imagine, this is a very risky business. It is not our custom to reveal the identity of our actresses. Maybe I can help you. A friend of mine brought her around, and I...
What's her name? Tell me.
Why such a hurry?
You ought to know. It's your business.
Always at your disposition. Don't worry, you'll be seeing me again.
This is Alexander speaking. May I talk to Mr. Brown, please? It's urgent. Yes? Yes, all right. I'll call him later.
John, do you know what you're saying?
It's Helen, there can be no doubt. When I saw the picture the first time, I couldn't believe my eyes. When they were lying there, I repeated the same phrase over and over. I know she's dead. She's dead. Helen's dead. But the film, you'll have to see the film.
You told me yourself the woman's face was veiled.
It was, but the scar on her neck, the pearls, the ring, it's Helen's ring.
But why has she remained silent if she's really alive?
Perhaps she did try to contact us, but wasn't able to.
But for what reason, for God's sake?
She may be in the hands of someone who's blackmailing her.
Huh. All right. It could be possible, but I just don't believe it. She tried to contact us.
Please, please come along. You'll have to see the film immediately.
All right. As soon as possible. I know there's an explanation. Poor John. He actually thought that he saw her alive. He's in a state of shock. He might do something foolish.
He's not the type, Mr. Brown. In fact, we have come here to inform you that we have received anonymous letters in which it is stated that your daughter Helen was the victim of murder.
It's ridiculous. What an idea.
I'm not so sure. But tell me frankly, do you think that John Alexander could have killed your daughter?
Of course not. Nobody'd ever make me believe that.
Wasn't he the sole heir?
Yes, but he never knew it. Nobody knew it, not even me. Until the accident, and the police said it was an accident.
See if you can remove that bit for me. Gordon, listen. The explosion could have been caused by a device that was self-destroying. I might have found the reason why I could find no trace during the preliminary routine investigation at Liverpool.
Yes.
It's a matter for the lab.
Better pass it to them at once. Here.
Right away.
They're beautiful. A magnificent collection. Amazing. Do they all work?
Yes, I wind them myself.
My compliments. I'm afraid I'm boring you. I'd better be going. The garage is back there, at the bottom of the garden.
Yes.
I must say you're lucky, having it so far away. No possibility of being disturbed by motors. Did your wife keep the Jaguar in the garage?
Yes.
I see.
Talking of the Jaguar, Inspector, I forgot to tell you that my wife's car had the only clock I wasn't able to regulate. It was always an hour fast.
Surprising.
Hello? Hello?
I want the Alexander file.
There it is, sir.
Thank you. You can go now.
We arrived on the scene at 6 o'clock. The accident had occurred an hour before. The accident had occurred an hour before. The accident had occurred an hour before.
Where are you going? She isn't there. That man Peter came round an hour ago and they left together.
When will they be back?
I don't know. Maybe tomorrow, maybe never.
Surprised?
Yes, I have to say yes, considering our former relationship. Would you like a drink?
When did Helen last call you up?
I don't understand.
When did Helen last call you up?
Before the accident?
After!
Then you know. You know, too. That's why you're here.
I don't know anything. That's why I'm here.
I've been living in a nightmare for days. I'm almost glad you found out. Helen wasn't alone on that trip. She called me from Crosswell. She was unhappy. She told me she had been able to persuade her friend Judith to go along with
Tell me
her.
all the facts.
The other night, I received a phone call. A woman who claimed she was Helen. But the voice wasn't hers. She told me she was saved by a miracle at the last moment. Just before the gas tank exploded, she was thrown out of the car, while her friend Judith was trapped in the wreckage. Helen said she got away from the car before the explosion. She ran and kept on, but she, with that terrible weeping voice, She told me she couldn't come. From that moment on, I thought the call was interrupted. But then I heard her repeat over and over again that she didn't want to see you, that she didn't want to see anyone.
Did you speak to her father?
No. He would only tell me I was imagining everything. Would you like a drink now?
By the way, John, how silly, I almost forgot a telephone call today, saying that the Countess had...
What do you know about the Countess?
Nothing. Anyway, the gentleman left a message saying the Countess had gone back to the old family house.
Hello? Hello? Who?
He's at the bar now. Tell him Liz called and that Helen is waiting for him at Sedan's Cathedral.
Sedan's Cathedral. Okay. Don't worry, I've got the message straight. Helen is waiting for him at St. Anne's Cathedral.
Here I am.
It's impossible. Why didn't you wait for me at the house?
Because I couldn't find the courage.
I'll tell you why. Because you're not Helen. No, my wife died in the accident. No one knows that better than I.
My face is your work. I was a beautiful woman. Now I'm a monster.
But how did you survive?
Even my voice is destroyed. I'm alive only by a miracle. I almost envy that poor girl who died in my place.
Oh, Helen, my boy.
Mr. Alexander, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
If you hadn't stopped him, Inspector, he would have killed again. Well, what are you waiting for? Arrest that murderer.
I'm not a murderer. Don't talk like that. I loved Helen. I always loved her.
Suspected Brown, but after the arrest of Peter and Christine, who confessed they'd manipulated the film, and after you told me the clock on the Jaguar went an hour ahead, my doubts turned to certainty. The explosion had not occurred at 6 o'clock, as the clock indicated, but at 5, as Brown had always maintained. Only the murderer could have known the exact hour. In other words, Brown.